everybody, I'm Mandy, and behind the camera there is Leslie, who's doing some of the filming for today. Welcome to Dogsledder for a Day. Today is a fundraiser and an education day. So let's start with the education. So the first thing that we do during the day is we make soup, and I actually did some pre-recordings prior to the start of today that I can show you about actually making the soup. So the soup is actually a baited water, so we like to make sure that our dogs are not dehydrated during the run. So we treat all of our dogs like they're athletes, and what we do is we feed them better than we feed ourselves, to be totally honest. So we've got organic chicken here, we've got rice, and we have lentils in here with a little bit of zinc additive supplements, and we have, sometimes we put calcium in there depending on how long of a run that we're doing and the types of dogs. So that's what it looks like when it's done. That's going to cool down during the day, and then we're going to give those to the dogs on the actual tour. The next thing that we do the night before, all of this work starts the night before, where we'll turn Leslie around. We start planning out our dogs and where we're going to be running them. So we have our new dogs in red here and our core dogs in yellow here, the core and the seasoned veterans. So we're going to have 3 teams out today. This is actually going to be the racing team, and then we're going to have 2 other teams, one for Leslie and one for Cindy. And we've got our 4 dogs on each team. Leslie might have 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drop these dogs halfway through the run, because they can't do the full run since we're doing a big run. And then we're going to add these guys to make 2 teams. So that's how we do our planning in the morning. We're not sure if we have Mango today, but we'll figure out a spot for her. So that's what we do last night. I sort of go through all these dogs and where we're going to put them. The next part that I do is I plan out. This is sort of like the steady planning board. We sometimes have our shopping list here and songs that we want to download, but during every day we wipe off the board and we write out the tours that we're doing this week, so we know how far we're going to be running in a 1-week period. And then we organize the sleds that I'm going to be taking for the day. So typically when I have tours, I'll have a group, 1 group, 2 group, or 3 groups, and that's the max that I'll do during the day. So other than that, here's the things that we're bringing today. So we've got this laid out according to the run. So kibble, we're going to get some kibble for the dogs. So what we do is every hour during the run, we stop the dogs for a little bit of a snack. Every hour and a half, sometimes later on in the run, and then later on in the run, we do every 2 hours. So come on downstairs and I'll show you the kibble that we use. So welcome to the office of Green Feet in my little townhouse here. So here's our food storage. We have a lot of food. We make sure that our dogs eat really good food across the teams, and so we work with the dog owners to get them some of the best food that's possible for their dogs, especially for their high activity levels during the winter time. Every kind of dog food, it's kind of like plant food. You've got 2 different numbers. The first number is your protein, the second number is your fat content. And those are the 2 most important things that dogs need. So in the winter time, on our runs, so at this time of year, starting in about January, we start bumping it up to 32% so 32% fat, 32% protein. Really early in the season, the earliest point in the season, we mix it with maximum and 30-25, so we progressively add the calories and the content throughout the year while we're training the dogs. So man, these dogs eat really, really well. So what we do, because we're going to have about 16 dogs out today, so we're going to grab some bags of food, and so each bag holds about 6 pounds of food. Amy's going to get some of the extra pieces. And so we feed the dogs about 1/4 cup at every stop, and that will give them about 150 calories. And that'll be enough for them to keep going. And we adjust that according to the size of the dog. So we like the Inukshuk food because Inukshuk food has omega-3 fatty acids because it's fish-based. And the dogs really like it. We have yet to have a dog turn down the Inukshuk food, except for Willow. Willow sometimes gets picky. Having picky eaters on a dog sled team is really tricky. So we, over the years, actually from my dad has an algorithm for figuring out the best bang for your buck with dog food. And as it turns out, Old Roy Maximum and Nook food is the best bang for your buck. This is about 30 bucks for this bag here. This stuff, typically it retails for about 70 bucks a bag. We buy it in bulk so that we can get some better prices for the dog owners. We usually get it down to about 50 to 60 bucks a bag, which is amazing for dog owners to get this high quality food. So we're gonna bring this on our trail with us today. This is our fuel. So this is gonna be our salmon powered fuel for the dogs for the day. So number one thing done on our checklist. Collar. So for one of our dogs, my dog, we have to have a training collar for him because he's a bigger dog, and we have to make sure that we are very safe with him. So we actually have a collar for him that'll just buzz if he's starting to get kind of out of control, because you saw my big dog earlier, he's got a big mouth on him. So we have a collar for him, put this into our gear bag, and we have an SDM, it says on that list. Social distancing mask for dogs. So with our bigger dogs, we get muzzles. This is a greyhound muzzle, so this allows them to pant while they're running. So we only put this on during times when there's a risk of a bite. So with this big dog, there is a risk of a bite, but we have to mitigate that. We've got our soup. We've got walkie-talkies charging over here. I'll grab them. Hopefully Leslie brought headlamps. I don't know if she did. If not, that's okay. We have extras just in case we get caught on the trails at night. And then booties. So the booties are, as the name suggests, they're little boots for the dogs. And they protect the dog's feet from things like ice. So because we had a rain last night, or yesterday, all day, big rain, we have to try to protect the dog's feet. This is actually all of our stuff, some of our stuff for the race that we're doing. We're starting to prep it all together. We have to bring bolt cutters and cookers and sleeping bags because we're actually doing our race in the Appalachian Mountains. So I've got 24 booties here. All right, so we've got our booties, and we're ready to go, I think. So now, we throw that in there. We throw all of our stuff in here that we're taking for the day. We get our med kit. Alrighty now. So, now we start getting dressed for the day. So for me, because it's blowing today, I have an extra hat. It's a silk hat. Silk is the bomb out in the bush in cold weather. I love it. And actually, if you can find things from thrift shops that are made of silk, even tiny little mitts, that's the bomb. That's a major good find. So they figured out that the dogs have figured out that we're going out for the day. Indy, come over here. The dogs get really excited. It's sort of pattern behavior, but also they know that they're gonna go for a run. They know they're gonna go for an adventure. They don't know where they're gonna go, but they know it's gonna be fun because we take really good care of them during the runs. Yes, I'm excited too. Oh, Indy. Okay, just settle down. Yeah, so boots, make sure your boots are an extra size bigger than your foot in the winter. There's another kind of boot called Neos that are an over boot that I do really like. But because I go through boots so quickly, I find it's honestly just easier for me to get a new pair of bigger boots during the day, or during every year, and just make sure there's enough space for extra socks. So hopefully Leslie has extra socks on too. So we've got all of our gear. We went through our checklist. We got our sled sorted out. Got my insulin and diabetic stuff done. So we are ready to go. Now we start loading up. Okay, so we're on our way to go pick up 4 more dogs. So we're going to the family kennel, and I'm running a little bit behind today. So our dog owners are all used to this. We call it Hutter time. Hutter time is the equivalent of about half an hour in normal person's time. is 4 hours in Hutter time. So we're always late, always. So I do have to let all of our dog owners know that I'm gonna be a little bit late, so nobody's waiting, showing up too early, because we're hoping to get some shots for them too. So typically, while I'm driving, I do, Siri, send a message to Husky Power Peeps. 1 moment. That's our group. I'm going to be 15 minutes later than I had expected, period. Please meet at 10:30 instead, period. Sorry guys, period. Hutter time today, period.
Ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay, it's sent.
Thanks, Siri. So this is the pre-run banter between Dad and I. Every single time we go out, we discuss the trails, and I usually tell him I was right, you were wrong. There's trails that are gonna be okay today. Sometimes. And then he jumps back in with his wisdom for having 30 extra years of dog sledding on me, or some odd years of dog sledding on me.
The oxen are slow, but the earth is patient.
So he's just, I don't know, whatever.
Whatever that means.
Wisdom from a musher.
Yeah, just imparting on you my collected wisdom from the dog sledding spirits.
Dad also makes up proverbs to share with us, and they make no sense.
Like never let go of the sled?
Like never let go of the sled. Yeah.
I just came to ask, are you taking Rocky? Because he's pretty upset.
No, it'll be
It's too long for him today.
It's going to be a fast run today.
Yeah.
We have 2 retired dogs in the back there. They get upset when they're left behind, but they can't see.
You can hear them in the background, they're barking. So answering the question, do you guys want to run?
Yeah.
And they're barking in the background.
They can probably just get around the block before they get,
And then they get tired.
like
yeah.
me,
Yeah.
like us.
They'll start tiring
They'll
them.
be in the house today.
Yeah, possibly bandit. Okay. Okay, bye. All right. Hi, Randall. Hi, guys. All right, okay. Down you go. Make sure that I do a checklist that I've got everything. So during loading, I'm typically checking all of the sleds, checking all of the lines. have a whole gear bag back there, so we bring that with us. Brakes are okay. I have snub lines. I have snow hooks for every one of the sleds. I've got my gear checked out. I make sure that on the departure that I have my trailer clips done up. Make sure that the doors are locked and closed. Oh, look at that! And there's the sun! Look at that! As soon as we get on the road, the sun comes out.